we don't want to break into the politics of it because now
who's getting paid, who's what, right?
Yeah.
Who's on my cut?
Yeah, right. But who's that artist? Who's that artist that's in the city that's with Lords? He does the skeletons.
Oh, Nichos. He's from Vienna, Austria.
No, he was bad.
That guy is badass.
He's
shout out to that guy.
He's from the weird. Yeah. He's a
Nitro's the weird.
Definitely. Yeah, he's definitely.
I tripped out because I had seen his work. I was a big fan of him, and then I started seeing his pieces here in the city, and it was. Then I started seeing the Lords. I was like, he's a Lord?
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
that's awesome,
shit.
dude. Yeah.
That's my homeboy right there. I've never met him. I almost met him that one time with you.
Yeah.
Actually, where I got that confrontation with that green beret, it was right in front of that.
Oh, really?
That painting.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, those are badass.
Looking out to the homie Shoe and Fact One, Quake. You know what I mean? Again, Quake.
So what is your vision for the future? What do you see?
2020.
Oh, 2020 is.
What would you like to see? I mean, what are your thoughts on?
Oh man,
we know that you're one of the most respected and legitimate. You know, you don't walk around acting like, oh, I'm the boss, I'm a commander in chief here, but
no.
you are just given that kind of respect.
You know, if I say something, I just expect like these guys to acknowledge that I am who I am, and we probably wouldn't have gotten this far if I wouldn't have embedded the seed in Bizarre, you know what I mean? In his mind to, like, I'm not going to join this crew unless it's a world-class crew.
And that's what I tell people, look, I'm not this Lord, dude, whatever, but I was one of the pioneers working alongside with these guys. So no matter what, question this, you question that, dude, like, just ask the dudes.
You know, even just getting everybody there, the Flamonte house, you know what I mean? Like, that was a struggle, you know what I mean? Like you said, you know, a lot of these guys didn't get along.
Right.
You know
and we were white, black, Asian. There was no color barriers with none of us. We were just artists, right? But that's not what the beef was ever.
Some were just straight partiers. Some were still slightly gang banging. Some were.
I think I was doing them all.
Yeah, some were just doing it all, just painting. And we kept it going, you know what I mean? Like, and when I left, you know, and I went to San Diego, it was, you know, I didn't know who was going to take care of it out here, you know what I mean?
Right.
But Biz was here, and I trusted him to, and I'm pretty sure like when he was gone, he trusted me.
Right. How long was he locked up?
A couple of years. Not
because I met him the day he came out. He was already, he has Lokes on. This is the dude. Like,
this is the guy we were talking about.
Just with his Lokes, just sitting down looking at me. Like, what's up, man? He's cool ever since. So he was just open arms the whole time, man. And respect, man.
Well, because he already knew about everybody.
Well, we all knew, but he was just this guy bizarre.
He knew about you just like you knew about him.
Yeah.
You know? He definitely was probably amazed that we're putting together.
We were doing something while he wasn't away. We're doing this whole brand new thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Fresh blood, fresh.
And you know, even like I said, when I came back from San Diego, there was like people trying to build off of our blueprint. You know, like there was like the Syndicate, and there was like, you know, a group called the Syndicate that was trying to. It was just a bunch of brush painters that were trying to like do stuff in Modesto. No, they were just artists.
Do you think there's a difference between a street artist and a graffiti artist? It's different now, right?
There is, you know what I mean? Street artists, you know, use stencils or whatever, you know, and
they're not so much about the history and all that stuff, right? It's more like just making art on a wall.
Man, to me, it's all graffiti. Okay. You know what I mean? Whether you use a brush or you use a chisel,
right?
You know what I mean? You could use
they used to call graffiti. When you scratched into the walls in Rome 2,000 years ago, they call it graffiti today.
You know what I mean? Like
petroglyphs.
People were just always trying to give
lock it into something. This is what it has to be. This
is what it is.
And this goes back to my point I was trying to make. It's like you got all these guys today, right? They got all their spray paint, and I'm street, and I'm this legit. Oh, yeah. I'm like, dude, you're not. You're copying some dude from the. You're using somebody else's blueprint. There's nothing new about what you're doing. There's nothing revolutionary about what you're doing because it's been there, done that.
Of course.
You know, I'm talking about guys who got this purist kind of view where I just use this or I just use that. You're not being new. This is old what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's been there. And if you're really being rebellious and you're really being street, whatever the hell you say, come up with, try something a little bit, you know what I mean? You can't claim it.
There has to be some type of motive that fuels you, not just go, oh man, I can do that. You know what I mean? I'm going to paint my name and, you know what I mean? What's your, you know, everybody has a...
like I look at, like spray paint is another tool. Like the reason I don't use them because I paint murals that cost a lot and they gotta last.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if I'm just fucking around,
there's some spray paint that doesn't hold up to its name.
Most of it don't, because for a lot of reasons, right? But it's not meant to be. It's meant to be quick in and out. Yeah. So there's a time for it, right? But if you're gonna paint like say the Sistine ceiling in spray paint, you're stupid, right?
It's not gonna hold.
What do you see happening? What are your plans? What are your thoughts? What do you got
Well, the thoughts and the
What's
plans.
the vision?
The thoughts and the plans and the vision for this next generation or next decade that we got coming up is
Right, we just finished.
Yeah, we just finished a decade.
We need to step our game up, make some money. There's going to be a lot of us old guys need to step our game up because you know what I mean. The next generation might be just as hard as the decade that just passed. You know what I mean?
Right.
The artists that we had.
Can I tell you something? You know how you were talking about it's now easy to paint, right? Spray paint and stuff like that. That's like that for everything.
Yeah, for everything.
DJing. Before you have to come over with your big old records and all this
now
stuff.
Now you got everything on a USB.
Now you have everything on a USB and a little computer. You don't even need to bring anything. Just your headphones.
Yeah,
and a little chair. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly.
It's too easy now, right? So, and I feel like the young generation
exactly. So
doesn't get
for me, my point was it's going to get easier for the younger generation. So their game is going to be looking really good.
Yes.
With less
talent, less passion,
less work.
Yeah, there's I've got my eye on a couple of artists that are
and more arrogance. They're going to throw pies in your face,
of course.
That are quick.
Of course.
Not only do I DJ, I throw pies in your face,
and you like it,
and you love it,
and you'll be like, "Oh God, yeah." You know, there's a few artists that I've been looking at. I've been talking with them for a couple of years already, and they paint murals like in 5 hours.
Right.
What?
Detailed, quick, spray paint, brush paint, everything.
Right.
Like they make they can make me look like my 8-hour little piece or burner. Like they'll do like a character, letters, everything in like
Can I say something about that?
less than
what
2
I realized,
hours.
Like especially with a lot of graph artists, I see stuff that I'll turn a corner. I'm like, damn, that's sick.
Yeah.
And it is sick. But after like the 5th or 6th time I pass that corner, the magic is gone.
Yeah.
And I had to teach myself that to realize that, yeah, it's graphic. It gets you. You love it. But how deep is it? And that 5-hour painting that you're talking about, it's at that second, it's bam, and you love it. But then if you have to keep living with it, I'm saying, it becomes very
and that's what
shallow, very quick.
That's what it.
And I realize that.
Yeah. It becomes that way because, you know what I mean? Like you said,
but it's got that instant impact.
If it's in your neighborhood,
right,
then you're going to get bored of it. It's not going to have that appeal that it had like the first 2 days.
Yeah.
And you've seen
and that's all it is.
First day.
It's just that bang. And it's powerful. Yeah. And, you know, I used to be like, damn, but once I kind of realized that, I'd be like, no, my kind of art I'm trying to make. I'm trying to, you can live with this thing forever. It's going to keep communicating with you. As you grow older, that painting will be more interesting to you. So there's a difference between why someone was like, for instance, I don't do 3-hour paintings. I can.
Yeah.
But I don't. Well, I don't want to. It doesn't do anything. I'm
just saying that these younger guys are going to be quicker, faster, and move on to the next.
Right.
To the next
shebang.
And should we assimilate or should we
the next city, the next state, the next country?
It is what it is.
You know what I mean?
That's what I say. I say it is.
Should we assimilate to this or should we die? I mean, not die, but like, you know, our art. Should our art die?
Absolutely.
No, our art should never die.
No,
right. It's more of like a
well, what
you know, I guess taking it from like graffiti art. Mm-hmm. Which is like can just be like scribble. Really, graffiti art is just like nothing.
Right.
And then you go to muralist, and then you go, you know, you got street art. Street art somewhat takes a little longer than like a graffiti. A graffiti is more like a tag.
Yeah, in and out.
You know what I mean? Like in and out. So these guys are like taking like it from a mural.
There's a different intention.
Mural to something a little bit more quicker that they can probably do more illegally and get it done quick.
And you have to because it's illegal.
And be gone without waiting. You know, it's just things are getting more easier and more simpler, just like DJing.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry the 12 records, 20 records with you.
20,
you know, whatever.
You know, crates,
or crates. You know, exactly. I mean, if you're going to DJ the whole night, or are you just going to DJ one set?
Right.
Depending on what you're doing. If you're DJing one set, 45 minutes, you're going to take 20 records.
60.
You know,
maybe 60. I don't know.
With technology, that's a good question.
You know, you're going to take your own needles. You know what I mean? You're going to have your needles. You're going to have your own headphones.
I think this is
that's a whole lot of stuff you're going to carry.
In the end, they're just tools, right?
Yes.
And the tools, they're good or bad, evil or whatever.
Tools of the trade, man.
Yeah.
We need.
If you put, let's say, you put that little system in Beethoven's hand. As opposed to the kid that, like, it's who's behind it, right? So you can use the technology. You don't have to stay in the old world to be deep, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But if you put that in the right hands, that technology, that artist or what person is going to turn it into something, it depends on that's deeper. And it depends on what you want. But you're also going to have 1,000 phonies before you get that one.
Of course.
Because it's that easy.
I mean, I painted with artists that we all showed up with the same amount of cans, the exact same colors, and like maybe like 5 out of the 10 artists did like some weird shit, like not even like good, and the other 5 guys did immaculately dope shit. You know what I mean? That you're just like, how did you do that?
With those 5
and then
colors,
you're like,
same colors.
And you're looking like we all had the same amount of cans each. We all showed up with the exact same colors,
right?
Because in our minds, we're like, we're gonna make a just something that's like all meshing together. It's the same color, same outline, same background. We all came with 4 cases each. Some people got it and some people don't.
Yeah, there you go.
And the ones that don't got it are the ones that are up in numbers, and the ones that got it are the ones that have the quality, the technique, and the means to like use only 4 cases and make it look like, man, that's nice.
I just had that conversation with someone. It was I was listening to music by Miguel Miggs, and I was like, there's just something about this guy's music. What is it that just separates it from other type of house music or whatever? And there's just something that he has, and you cannot teach it or whatever. And it's so subtle, but it makes a world. Like as soon as you hear it, it's just something about it, right? And because he's got that, and he's got the same tools, and he's working with the same things, but there's just something in there that's there. And so I was like, what is that thing? And I don't believe in the everything starts inside you. Right. The thing that you're talking about with these artists who do these with the same amount of things, it goes to show that it's not about the technology. It's really all the change and all the art or whatever that is comes from inside, in your inner world, basically. That's so. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, my advice to other artists is, it's all the things, everything that you need to be and to reach your goals or whatever, they're inside you. You're not going to find them by doing that over there or talking, you know what I mean? Or using that certain color or whatever. It starts by working and developing what's inside you. Right. And that makes the world. And that's why at the beginning, Kaze, when I asked you, like, what made you a graffiti artist? Like what drove, because look, that didn't happen to me, right? But it happened to you. And the only difference that you went your way is because it happened to you. Yeah. Right? And what is it that happened that took you in that direction? That's what I'm talking about. It came from inside. It wasn't graffiti that made you. What was inside you made who you are, right? Yeah. That's why I always ask. I'm always like, what drives? Like, it's kind of like your beliefs and what I feel like it's your beliefs. If you believe like in magic, you're going to make magic, right? If you don't, you're never going to make magic, no matter how hard you try, because you don't believe it. Mm-hmm. So really, it's about what you put inside you, right? And what you believe and what you hold on to. And that's what's going to come out. It's not your technique. It's not the kind of subject matter that you're using. It really comes to the end of what's inside you. Right. And that's going to make the whole world of there. And that's why it's so important to be careful about what you believe, how you see yourself, right? How you see the world. And if you have that, say, this beautiful vision, you're going to make beauty. Like, I believe in beauty. So I make beauty. Yeah. Right. And that's why you when you talk to other artists, you listen to them, you'll see that they don't really care or believe in beauty. And it completely makes sense. And they could be beautiful people physically. But if they don't believe in beauty, it's like this. You're never going to make divine art if you don't believe in the divine. That's true. And the only thing that stopped you from that is you not believing in the divine. Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. And so I'm always telling the artists, it's what's inside you. Like, I'm a dreamer. Like, the world is telling me this and that, and it's probably right and true, but I refuse to go with it. I've always have. And that's why I've been able to, that's what separates me from a lot of other artists. I always say, what's the difference between me and my contemporaries? That other artists that I have higher standards. I believe in my standards. It's the only difference between me and these other artists. It's not because I'm better. It's not because there's more talent. It's just because I chose to have higher standards and they didn't, right? Yeah. There's nothing right or wrong about that, but that's what makes me different than them, is that I have those higher standards. Yeah, you know? And there's a price to pay for that because I got to work harder. I got to do all these other things, but I believe in it. And so I'm about that. But if you don't believe in higher standards, you're never going to. So everything starts within you. And that's why when we talk to artists, I always like to ask, like, what made you go? That's always the most interesting to me. What is it that made you? What drove you? Because we're all equal to me, the same. Yeah. It's literally what you have in your head that'll stop you or make you go in a certain direction. Most of the time, right? That's what I think. So I'm always asking those questions about what those beliefs are. Even if it's bullshit. Even if, let's say God doesn't exist, right? But the fact that I believe in it, or let's say the divine doesn't exist, but the fact that I choose to believe it just because I want to, I'm going to be able to touch on the divine. I'm able to create on the divine. So that's my point. I've been meditating on those. Like, what separates us from, or what makes one person go one way, what makes a person go another. If you don't believe in yourself, right? If you don't, And that's where the ego comes in. Like, I feel like artists have to have ego. That's why we're so ego. You have to believe that you're a bad motherfucker to make bad motherfucking shit. If you don't believe that you're a bad motherfucker, you're never going to make bad